shouting through the night. Static hum that shakes the ground, Riff Nation rising loud, profound. Feel the fire, feel the fight. We're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage. Unleash the fury, turn the page. Steel strings, scream the truth we bring. Echoed chaos, hearts that sting. Electric veins that feed the roar. Harder, faster, crave for more. Dust and sparks ignite the air. Shattered silence, do we dare? Tidal force, relentless stream. We're the edge, we're the dream. Feel the fire, feel the fight. We're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage. Unleash the fury, turn the page. Riff Nation, hold the line. In the chaos, we align. Through the storm, through the pain, we're the anthem in your veins. Feel the fire, feel the fire.
Welcome to the midnight tide, where shadows whisper, darkness hides. We're diving deep into the unknown. On a journey, you're not alone. From haunted halls to specters lost, we'll guide you through the eerie frost. With tales that chill and spirits roam, a freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tones, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Welcome to the midnight tide, where shadows whisper, darkness hides. We're diving deep into the unknown. On a journey, you're not alone. From haunted halls to specters lost, we'll guide you through the eerie frost. With tales that chill and spirits roam. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show.
The engine is starting up.
For launch, GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Riff Nation Network, the RNN. Putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Those great and awesome paranormal.
There you go. What's up, all you freaks out there? This is Ryan.
This is Rhonda. I heard it before that too.
Yeah, me too. I had a little
It's a different one.
Yeah,
It was
the
a
voices.
different one.
Does that happen on the Orion Effect, or is it just our show that has the extra voice?
Not that I've seen. Not that I've seen it, that it's happened.
I have to ask
So,
Callie.
I
about
don't
that.
know.
It doesn't happen on the Freakin Awesome playlist.
Yeah, no. I haven't heard it on on the
It's
Orion.
weird. It's
Yeah.
like everyone if it was just one time, but every
Yeah.
time.
And now we've
that-
got new ones. And I could not catch.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it tomorrow because I could not catch what it said.
I mean, I hear paranormal show. That's
And the first
all I
one that
hear.
we heard,
See,
we
Kevin
usually don't
heard it.
hear.
Kevin heard the voice.
Yeah, I heard it then, but then I heard it when I think we were transitioning to like between videos. It was weird. It was
Yeah.
weird.
What's up, Michelle from Australia? What is up? Kevin heard the voice. Yeah. So we have a third co-host now
You
that
know
likes to
what?
join us.
And he's getting more and more vocal. So we have
Yes,
that.
and let people know that they're watching the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show in case they forgot. They're
That's
like,
right.
okay, this is our hype man here. The Restream Ghost hype man.
That's
Just
right.
letting everyone know.
We'll
that-
keep
that
him
watch-
around, man.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, join the crew. Join the crew. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. You know, today is National Cheesesteak Day.
Oh,
And I don't know if
oh,
is there a difference between steak and cheesesteak?
that I don't know. Is there?
I don't know. There probably is. There's probably someone from Philadelphia who was like, oh my God, a cheesesteak is this, and this. A steak and cheese is this, and this. It's two different things.
Dana could tell us.
Yeah, they probably could. We'll have to ask her on Thursday.
Yeah,
what
we'll
she's
have to
doing
ask
just on
her.
TikTok. She'll look at us like, what? Really? Really? Is there a difference? She might
Right?
just hang up and be like, I can't even talk to you guys anymore.
What do you
Can't.
mean you don't know the difference between a cheesesteak and a steak and cheese?
That's right. I am so she have that disappointed parent look in her eyes, just shaking her head. I'm
She would
sorry.
be so disappointed with us.
I'm sorry. So Angie left to go to work, and she had didn't have anything to eat. So I had ordered pizza really fast from Marco's, and I gave her my card and I said, "Here, get what you want." So she messaged me, and I was like, "Well, try not to make it too much money." She was like, "Is $32 okay?" I'm like, "It's fine." And she said it was for a steak and cheese. I'm like, "Well, that's crazy how steak and cheese costs $32." And then I was like, then I looked it up, and it was National Steak and Cheese Day. So I messaged her back. I'm like, "You've got to get a steak and cheese." Now it was the sign from the steak and cheese, the holiday steak and cheese gods. You've got to get steak and cheese. So she ordered it to celebrate steak and cheese. And here I am getting a pizza.
Well, I mean, there's pizza, steak, and cheese, and it's pretty darn
That's
good.
funny. Actually, no, it's a National Cheesesteak Day, because I get, she could be celebrating the
Cheesesteak
wrong
Day.
thing. Cheesesteak Day. So I could be, hyping up her steak and cheese, and it could be completely wrong.
Right. True.
Cheesesteak and steak and cheese are not the same.
Either way,
thing.
it's good. I like both. I can't honestly say I've been able to tell the difference. I just would order whatever they say on the menu.
Yeah, I mean, I know like if you get a steak and cheese in Philly, you've got to get it a certain way, or it's not a real steak and cheese.
Right.
Like you've got to have cheese whiz on it or something like that. I had a cheesesteak wrap. Well, there you go, Sharon.
There you go.
Thinly sliced. That was my nickname in high school, actually.
Was it really?
No. Thinly sliced. I do know how that would make sense. My name is Ryan, but my friends call me Thinly Sliced.
You had me going.
The dog gets it. I'll do that to Angie. I'll see like hard salami. I'd be like, that's my nickname in high school. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's for those of you who are wondering what my voice sounds like. I'm going through puberty. Allergies are kicking my hiney right now. It's like going outside my car and
rough
yellow.
out there, folks.
God, I seriously did not have a voice the past 2 days.
I woke up sounding rough in the morning, but as I progress through the day, it sounds better. I guess where at night it's draining or whatever. So I sound pretty rough, like when I get up at 6 or 7 in the morning, but after that, it's better.
I got fish and chips, but I thought of steak and cheese with mustard, mayo, and barbecue sauce. Well, fish and chips are good.
Yeah, I like fish and chips.
And he thought of steak and cheese, which is more than I did. I just looked at the holiday. Oh, crap! There's steak and cheese.
Oh, dang.
Stormy salami.
Salami. Teaspoon of honey. Oh, there you go, Ryan. Teaspoon of honey.
There. Oh, Teresa gave me a thank you, Michelle. A Canadian cure. Take a shot of maple syrup.
Well, yeah.
Call it a
Why
day.
not? It works for everything else.
Yeah. It was actually raw honey and squeeze of lemon. I don't know where to get raw honey from, except like going to the beehive and getting it out. But I got a little honey bear full of honey. Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got something to discuss with you.
Okay.
I had a dream.
Okay.
I had a dream the other day, and it was last week. I had this dream, so it's been sticking with me. I was gonna save it till today to talk about it.
Okay.
So bits and pieces of it I don't remember, but I remember at one point I feel like I'm driving in my car. Okay, I'm doing something really fast on the highway. Don't know if I'm driving. Don't know what's going on, but I'm going really fast, but I can't control it. Okay, feel like I'm drunk. So
Okay.
I'm trying to control the car. It feels like I just cannot control. All the stuff is coming towards me, and it's like, so I don't know if I'm driving or if I'm riding. I just haven't any control of what I'm in, either it be a car or
Right.
something else. Then all of a sudden I'm in this I'm on this road. All of a sudden I hear there's like almost like a long bridge, right? And there is this big explosion, and you can see it coming towards me. I see all these cars like flying off the road coming towards me. I'm dodging the cars and stuff. Finally it stops, and I'm walking, and I'm see all these dead bodies, you know. I'm trying not to look at them, but then I look down and I see a bunch of alien bodies as well.
That's an intense dream there.
Yeah. And then I woke up, and usually I have a dream like that. It'll kind of go away, or remember one tiny bit of the dream, and then it will go. This is kind of stuck with me. About, so I mean, I don't know what's
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of dream I would Google, but there's so many interlocking parts to it. Like, it's the car you can't control, it's the crash, and then the aliens. The only thing, if I can think of, like, if I was trying to tie it all together, which I am not a dream interpreter, that's better English.
Because we care about
me,
English
it's just like there's something like subconsciously maybe you are fearing that you don't have control over your life and things, and you're worried that it'll spin out of control with things unknown and stuff like that. So I don't know.
You know what the aliens look like, and Howie will get a kick out of this.
I mean, aliens too. I kind of throw that in as like that's the unknown. We don't know what to expect when we do encounter them. So maybe that's truly beyond our control. So it almost feels like it has something, but I'm not a dream person. So
the whole driving thing, I was scared because I'm like, I don't know, I can't control my car, I can't control what's going on. You know, I've been in a crash or anything, but the aliens actually look like the Silence from Doctor Who. The aliens that had like suits on and stuff. It were just bodies of them. And that's
maybe it's what's actually going on with the world, potentially. Everything's just out of control.
I hope it's not a premonition.
Maybe it's just to try to release control, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what we can control?
What's going to happen in the cards?
The cards.
All right, we give it a quick shuffle, and then we can get with our guest.
I've got a deep question for you guys after we're done. Been thinking about this question.
All right. We're pulling from the middle. What do we got? Ooh. Life is a gift. It's actually, you guys can't see it that well. It's actually very much a lot of pink and orange.
Looks like a phoenix.
It is a phoenix. I'm still pulling from the phoenix deck. Only for a couple more, though, because I found a new deck I'm interested in. But when I look at this one, I feel like life is a gift, which, I mean, I think that's kind of like what we all should always remember, that life is a gift and it's not promised. It's something we should not take for granted. But I also feel like we need to be looking at life as a whole as a gift, in that, let me get my words correct here. That even when things are tough or rough or confusing, it's still a gift to us, because it's supposed to send us down some sort of path or send us in some sort of direction that maybe we hadn't thought of. And at the moment, it seems kind of like your dream, out of control and unstoppable and all of that. But it also, to me, feels like appreciate even those bumpy times, because those are a gift as well. So I think for life to be a gift, you have to accept that the bad things and the good things are the gifts. That's what I got.
Yeah, I mean, if everything was good all the time, you wouldn't appreciate it as much.
Correct. Correct.
And it's like
You would appreciate the good stuff, that's for sure.
like having your birthday every day.
Yeah.
You get old really fast for one thing. That would suck.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, but it's like if you have Christmas every day or Halloween every day, it's just like, well, then it becomes every day. It's nothing to appreciate about it.
Right.
The bad helps you appreciate the good. What is up, Michelle?
Hey, Michelle.
And I don't know if you guys know this or not, and I can let you on a little secret. I'm a big fan of the Orion Effect. Podcast comes on Sundays at 7:00 p.m. on the Riff Nation Network. Shocking, I know. But one of their guests they have on frequently, and actually
once a month if we can.
This past Sunday, I was out making Walmart deliveries, listening to you guys while driving in my car. Miss Katrina Cooper joined the show, and I'm super excited that she agreed to come on with us tonight.
Yeah.
Let's bring her on. Welcome,
Katrina.
Hello, Rhonda. You look gorgeous as always.
Thank you.
Thin Sliced, you are nice to meet you.
Why, thank you.
It's nice. I love it.
I made sure to write that down so I wouldn't forget. But thank you. I appreciate being asked. It's just I can't explain it. It's my honor. Thanks.
Well, we definitely appreciate you coming on. I remember you guys talking, and we're talking about whether or not you can be doing readings tonight. And honestly, when I asked you to come on, that didn't really ever cross my mind about you doing readings. Because I like the first one at least to be a getting to know you podcast, and if you'd be willing to come on at a different date and do readings for people, that'd be great. But
sure, I just feel whatever happens.
Yeah,
you know,
I like that.
It's in the cosmos. It's just how it goes. And I had to keep coming out because mine was freezing. And so I know that you were talking about some voices in the background. May I weigh in on that?
Yes.
Because
yes.
I was seeing lots of going towards Ryan. And I have also the interpreting when I feel like it's informing you to give the gift of a book. I feel like you're contemplating on writing. And with this is also, jumping away from your early days growing up and the church and one way of learning and branching out that other beings. I just think that all of this is just to push you into your creativeness. And can you confirm that you have been contemplating writing a book?
Well, I mean, I've thought about maybe writing article for magazines or stuff like that. As far as writing a book, my grammar is way too off for me to try.
It doesn't even matter anymore. Yeah, but see, you thought of it, and you even thought of why you won't, but it's still there. So I just want to throw that in there. And the person that keeps communicating with you, it's as if he comes from a bench. It's almost like you go to this quiet, like maybe it's a 2-man to a 3-person, small person bench. It's wrought iron. I don't know if you recognize this, but it feels like water is in front. So it could be like a little park or something, but you picked up on what I call hitchhikers that become friends. So I hope that this makes some sense because, you've been having some anxiety.
It does make sense.
But
for
you
sure.
know what? It ties into Katrina. I don't know if you heard about the dream he said he had last week. It kind of ties into if you were in a car and you couldn't control it and things are blowing up and there's aliens, it's kind of like getting out of your comfort zone and letting go of control and just go.
Well, also his new interest of something else is out there, not just spiritually, but also in living form. And I just think that, you can look at it as going in as science, sci-fi, scientific, fiction, a fiction science, but it's also going to have some of your I feel like you've had lost time since you've been 7 years old. So I think that it starts to tie into some of the things that you've experienced since you've been young.
I think you're going back to the religious, growing up, we're living in a certain way for so long. Sometimes it takes a lot to get out of the box.
Yeah,
that you're put in as far as like spirituality and stuff like that. And it's still to this day, it's still part of me. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Won't go away.
Yeah.
It won't. I get reading. I love my readings. I had a great day today, but it's always reminded. And, one of them was an insight for the future. And I always like insight, but for it to describe their wants or what they're projecting out and it's being heard. A trip that they wanted to do would require some peace in worlds that we are needing, because there's chaos going on. So after having a reading from my last one prior to this podcast, I'm convinced that at least by 2028, 2027, 2028, we're thriving again. So at least we'll have an idea that it doesn't go for 10 years or something. So I took something about the future for the world of maybe we get a handle on this chaos that's happening.
Well, that's kind of like goes with what Joni was saying the other night about the astrology and how things are, I know, but we're going to get through it and everything is going to be okay. But we just got to go through this rough patch right now. So
like your Phoenix card.
Exactly.
Gotta appreciate the bad to know when the good come around.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to go through the night to get to the day.
Well, thank you very much. I didn't mean to get started and get off the pathway, but I thank you for letting me comment on that. I was just wanting to put my little blow in there for you.
We got a question from Howie here, the big guy.
Howie,
and he says, "Good evening, my love." Which I'm assuming is you, Katrina, not me. I mean, if it is me, I appreciate you, Howie. Since we're not on the show, I know you are connected to me. You have anything for me? Anything for Howie?
Thanks, Renee.
That isn't our Howie that does.
Yes, it's our Howie.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Howie, I'm finding that you're going in full force the way that you should be right now. It may come to a plateau, but don't be discouraged. So I feel like probably in the very recent, or if it hasn't just started, there might be like a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth on how things are going down. That might be a colleague or a a handshake. You know what I'm talking about, where you trust without making it legal and all that kind of thing. I just feel like just have some faith that it's going to work out. That's the way I hope. I hope that it just feels like a handshake just might not be going the way it was agreed to go on. Let me know. Thank you. I'm not sure who that is, but I saw my name. That's all. I still can't see the little writing on a little.
Yes, you are magnificent, Katrina. And it's from our friend Teresa in Canada.
Oh, nice. Oh, I love international. Thank you. Oh, I wasn't sure if Howie was going to comment on anything or.
Ryan, you're muted.
Know exactly what you're saying. Okay. All right. Good. That is how a reading is. It doesn't need to be tell me all about it or anything. I just want you to understand because yeah. If it goes the wrong way, it could hurt. So if you just have a little bit of faith that's because it's a little bad taste right now, and I get it, but just have faith it'll come around in a good way.
And sometimes when you give a reading, it might not make sense to the person at that exact moment, but it could get to them like in a week, like, oh
yeah.
okay,
Or my favorite, a year later, 5 years later, my favorite is having to contact a family member to get it confirmed. I love those confirmations because that gets another person going, how'd she know that? Because the connection's real, and that's my favorite. So now you got another one that is interested in what's out there for all of us to tap in on, and I love those kind. Those are my favorite. Yes, Faith.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So I was listening to a podcast today, and they were talking about time machines and physics and all this stuff. And the guy, it was Avi Loeb. He was on the Y Files, and he was talking. It's like, how do you know that someone hasn't gone back to kill Hitler? Because we still know about
butterfly effect.
If someone had gone back to kill him, I was thinking, let's say someone would build a time machine today and went back and killed Hitler. What would we even exist anymore?
That's the Mandela effect too,
Yeah.
So all of these are, and I just got done watching probably the 50th time. One of my favorite movies is Interstellar, on how that they make a visual of one's thoughts of memories, and being able to just pull that fiber out. Relativity is so mind-boggling when you put it in its form. For example, to be able to touch something, I forget what that word is, and be able to know what it went through, who owned it, its emotions, because energy. But I do that all the time. And time doesn't seem to matter. It's almost as if touching it is giving you this movie of such item, which means that it absorbed it. It's a living thing. That's the way I perceive it, and that it wants to share with me what it's been through. So I think that it's not just one thought or one killing. I think that there's going to be little intertwines that will change, but others it doesn't affect. So I personally would feel that we would still be here. That's. I think that it wouldn't be relevant now if Holocaust and are those that would be a different timeline that I think that would change for them. So
yeah,
there's still a connection, but not all of it intertwines and would ruin it. I don't think.
There's a lot of World War II would that have even happened? But it depends, like when he goes back and actually kills him. If World War II never happens, and all the different things that had to happen for us, me, you, Rhonda, everyone to be here.
Yeah.
What would you know, would we look different? Would the world be different?
Of course. Now ponder the opposite, because there's always got to be a yin and a yang. There's always got to be a negative and a positive. Now propose that someone already had done that, and we're living in the aftermath of them. Oh, this guy's got a triumph, you know, instead of changing the past for the good, but changing it in this exact way. So it's a paradigm. Would that be the right word? It's very, I guess it's perception.
Would we even be aware? Like, because he wouldn't have existed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yesterday, but today it's like everything's changed. We're not even aware of it because it's like we're a whole new person,
right?
So to speak.
Right.
So I don't know. I was just
the things that I do. I definitely do not believe in a holographic world. There's just absolutely no way, at least by the work that I do, that that hypothesis could be. I don't even ponder that one. I was like, that doesn't. I can't even. Flat earthers. Not sure. I'm not really sure exactly. Me neither.
Where that came from. I always tease Angie because we listen to something or watch something about, you know, birds not being real, you know, and every time I see a bird, I'm like, oh, they're spying on us right there. Birds aren't real. She gets so mad at me.
That's the part that I can't believe that they're added in, like we're in a matrix or anything, because then my work would be obsolete.
Through a deja vu in there, because there's always, that's true.
There's always signs.
That is
true. Renee says there's a book about that. The book and TV show Man in the Castle is all about if Hitler won. It is amazing. I'm gonna have to check that out.
That would be a historical timeline, because history Hitler would have won, and that just would have been the way things are, you know. But to go back and change, things, like what kind of ramifications would that have? And that's the reason why we know that hasn't happened yet. No one's in the future has made a time machine and gone back and killed Hitler or anybody that had that kind of power, because we still know about him, you know. Or maybe there was somebody even worse that someone went back and killed, but that we don't know about because he never existed. Never got the chance to do what he did. So
that is correct. I mean, it can go on with so many. If you can think it, then it could be a possibility, you know.
Yeah,
that's mind blowing.
I mean, you know, talk about you can change your world, you can change your reality like really easily. Like right now, my reality is talking to you guys.
Right.
You know, like as soon as I get done, my reality is I'm done. Or if I want to. Right now, my table is a mess. I clean my table up where my computer is. My reality is my table is clean now. Every decision you make can change your world. Very small, but still, it's building blocks of, like, you know,
that's a cool way to
how you make your life.
I like that, building blocks. I call them pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah,
but I like building blocks.
Yeah,
it's a good way of looking at it, and to me, that's how spirit is. You know, if they think that if they perceive a big gigantic piece of cake, it's right there in front of them. If they perceive a smaller body, or at 8 years old, it's limitless. So what you just described is the way I describe heaven.
Okay.
You know, there's no limitations. I hadn't seen any, at least in my career, my communication. That's the way that I always have it. And their heaven is fishing or
that's what I was going to ask. So when you say that, I was going to ask that. So is that what you mean? Like you create your own heaven,
It's
whatever that's going to look
exactly
like?
it's exactly what it is, but you're not away from any others or anything. There's still that instant of thought, and all of them are there. It's really awesome. So
I'll be right
I
back. I
guess
gotta
that
plug
would.
my computer in real quick. Let you guys
Okay,
continue the
sweet. I thought I
conversation.
heard something say
Now
low power.
low power. So I gotta plug the computer up. I'll be right back. Okay.
Oh no.
Let's read
But
some of that chat that says, this is like Disney and animals saying what animals think makes me giggle. And Kevin
I
said,
do too.
clearing a space can give peace of mind. So changes mindset, changing reality. Good point.
I like
Good
that
point.
too.
And
Everything
then Howard
is
said, think it into existence.
yes. I like that. I think everybody's is putting our thoughts together. That's what brings us as one unit. Without even realizing that you're connecting, I just think that it does.
Yeah. Definitely. Let's see if we got any other.
Power of prayer.
Yeah.
Everybody's thinking of the same exact thing and helping and putting that energy out there. It's all relevant.
Yeah. That's funny how this all kind of ties back to that card I pulled, that the good and the bad all are the gift.
It was a beautiful card, a remembrance.
Yes. Ryan
Changed my
changed the
point of
whole
view here.
dynamic. Look, Ryan changed his reality, y'all.
I did. I'm now on the
Having to
couch.
plug in his laptop.
Couch is my reality right now. So yeah, I mean, but it's like even talking about the power of positivity, the power of your own personal energy. If you're mad, you get off energy. You're happy, you get off energy.
Project it.
Yeah.
But we can also do it as a human species together and be able to produce that unity ball. And I think it's so positive when you got like-minded people together, that we're very, very powerful beings and we don't even know it. It's not just a select few, it's all of them. It's all of us.
I think that's what people have a hard time getting their minds around. They think that you need to be special to have gifts, and they don't realize the power that they have.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you were talking about earlier with the religious, or being put into a box, and then not realizing that you can break out of that box. And
amazing things come from that. First of all, it comes from, for you to just step out of that box. How brave are you? That is super brave, and that you're doing this, and you have to have faith in yourself. But I think that alone just shows how powerful you are to step out of the box.
That's funny. I shared something today and it said something similar. I'm probably going to get this wrong, but it said something to the effect of like, healing is being able to call yourself out on your own shit. And I feel like that's kind of what it is. It's like a lot of times the only person who's got us constrained is ourselves.
100. I agree. It's our perception. But, we do a good job at beating each other up, regardless of what nationality, what gender, always, because you're outside of that box. And if we just stop trying to dictate that, we can do damage to each other, or we can unite. And I truly believe that the extraterrestrials are visitors, creators. I want to make sure that I put everybody out there that has a thought, that they are relevant, because it's about unity and peace and caring, and it just is. I haven't seen any bad blood in spirit form, except for the ones that are lost. But once you're in your heaven, it's blissful.
Yeah.
there's no of that emotion of jealousy or stuff. At least I haven't seen that. Just wanting you to be the best that you can be, and that's what the gentleman that keeps talking for you, Ryan, is he sees that in you, and he's just putting that little push. I was like, because you got like restless leg syndrome. Please tell me that your legs just keep on moving around at night.
I mean, I think I just keep on moving around at night.
This is what he's showing me. So otherwise I wouldn't know. I just want you to know I'm not in your bedroom, but I can speak to spirit. And that's what he's saying.
I mean, I have a hard time. I'm constantly going or constantly thinking, like all the time, especially at night when I'm trying to go to bed.
Yeah, put it in a video book. Right. If you don't want to write it, just put it as an audio. I'm being shown that these are going to be very important. You could be, I don't know, name a good author, Stephen King. It just looks like you've got some great things going on, and they're going to unlock some of the unknowns that I know that has been blocked from you since you were young. And I don't know. I truly feel like you have been visited by visitors.
Like alien visitors or spiritual visitors?
Both.
Oh, wow. Alien, yeah. Spiritual, yeah. I'm sure I have. Aliens would be really cool. Honestly, that'd be.
That's what
awesome.
I see. So, I mean, just remember, it's like from 7 to 11 years old. I feel like you had nights with night terrors and forgetting things. And no offense, I think that there might have been some bedwetting. So maybe if you haven't forgotten, maybe you'll be able to talk to a family member. But those are the things that I'm being shown. So
remember, I definitely had some bedwetting when I was a kid, like when I was growing up, for sure.
Well, it just explains. And now you have confirmed that your current sleep pattern is that you're tossing and turning. But what I'm seeing from back when you were a child, it was so deep. So I'm explaining that I'm hoping you don't think that alien beings or out of these galactical are bad. They're not. They're I believe that they're in our corner to help us, that they're being perceived as bad. And just like us, all of us humans, I believe the majority of us are good people. We got some bad apples. We know that. But I think a majority of it, because they could just wipe us out.
Yeah. If they wanted to. We want to be here right now.
I didn't need to make you think this. I just want to put this into because that's how I see it. That's the way it was shown to me. So it's my job to share it with you. And it's interesting that you're saying, yeah. And, oh, yeah. So you have been communicated with.
Like, it didn't bother me. You said that it's not like you said, if the aliens were here for a bad purpose, we wouldn't be here because
this is just me thinking. Yeah, right. Just think about it. They got so much. Why not?
But are they aliens? Are we talking? If you're talking about aliens, are you talking aliens from space or like interdimensional?
They're the same.
The same.
They're the same. That's exactly how I put it. They're not. There is no difference. It's like your cheesesteak and your Philadelphia cheesesteak.
Well, let someone hear that. We may have a controversial show here now, guys.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we
get
will,
flagged for
but
this.
I'm just stating that there's still, and there isn't just one race. We don't have just one race on this planet. So, but intertwining, I truly believe that that goes interdimensional, and that is, that's my thought on Bigfoot. That's my thought on our cryptoids. I believe that they are, and forgive me if I'm wrong, aliens, because they're not of this planet. So I mean, we call our on the border that are crossing over as aliens, but they're still on this planet. So I want to make that so clear that there's so many different aliens, that's beings that are visiting us in or out, interdimensional or straight out of the sky. They still had to go through, I believe, a dimensional back door to get to us. So
we could be living in my apartment right now in a different dimension, but in the same apartment, there could be an alien next to me. There could be a Bigfoot in my bedroom. Do they have to stay in the woods, you think? Or because you never don't hear about Bigfoot showing up in somebody's house.
well, you also got that now you're perceiving as if that they have no control of where they're going, and I didn't say that.
Yeah.
See,
Oh no, I know. I'm just saying, like,
so
how
yeah,
can you
they
always
got
see them in the
complete
woods?
control, and I personally, we're all going to have choices of where we would like to land at. I believe that they are intelligent. I do not believe that they're random. I also feel that the energy of this happening all at the same time, that they'll get this thin layer, and it's kind of like, oh, we can see them, and then it disappears. It's like a pocket that will change. I like to call them energy pockets. Others might want to call them wormholes or portals. I think that any description, and there's many others, but I think it's natural. I think it's a natural um, phenomenon that is occurring on our planet, ley lines, whatever it may be, and crossing through at just the right time would probably be the same description as, does a tree make a noise in when it falls if nobody's there? Same situation. So no, I don't think that they would accidentally wind up in your living room or next door, because I think that there's intelligence that is going in with manipulating our natural energy pockets.
So you think that you're choosing, like, Bigfoot and cryptids choose to show themselves in the woods compared to showing themselves in the middle of a city?
Due to or what happens if you just happen to see that energy pocket open, and that's why you seen them?
I wonder if if the energy pockets are more powerful in the woods, like in the setting where it's less like traffic or less like more.
Because why would you
woods.
want to hurt yourself? We already know that they are that they have mass, that they can hurt, they can die. If you want to believe that we have beings from the Roswell crash, being able to have hair, you would find that to be organic, and even it goes. You find hieroglyphics. Am I saying that word right? That is, yeah. Thank you. It's all over.
Yeah.
Yes. There's pictures of these going in one and disappearing. And we know that a meteor shower may take 25 or 30 years before it comes back around to us. I think all of these fall into line with the natural opening of taking advantage of it.
Have you been visited?
Yes.
Were you taken, or was it,
I never felt threatened. I still don't know that answer. I can't say that I feel like I've been taken or probed or anything, but I've been shown lots of things. I got things on video, and so I can only go with what I perceive as threatening or non-threatening. But to me, I feel it's more guidance and just helping me out, kind of like the beings in Interstellar, towards the end of them trying to help them see a 5D world in how we could perceive it. I think that that's communicating, whoever is interested in hearing it. And what do? We do horrible things to animals and people in the name of science and in the name of medical or whatever it may be, or even the Epstein files. There's horrible things that are going on out there in the name of whatever they want it to be. What makes you think that I would think that beings wanting to know what makes us them being inquisitive of us, I would think that us missing a few of us would be a fair trade. It makes kind of sense, doesn't it? If you're going to be studied, some humans would have to be studied.
Yeah, I mean, I know people. I've heard people have been taken, and they've been put back together. I guess they've been looked at and then put back together. I've listened to different podcasts talk about that kind of stuff.
I think it's all plausible. Yeah. But if we also take outside that box and take away the stigma of not knowing, you also got to think of that cow or that frog that we killed to look inside and look at its muscles and see how it works, or all of the other things that we've done in the name of science on how does it work, how does it regenerate. We all did it, and we don't think twice of the horrific things that had been done in the name of how does it work and how can we fix it, for the other people. So I feel like that's the same with visiting from other planets or interdimensional people. So, and what you don't hear is a lot of these interdimensionals out there killing people. They're trying to get away from us.
Yeah, or usually they'll come back and they'll be fine. They just be disoriented, or they don't know.
Us as humans, we feel like we got to know what's going on. Start it. Tell me all about you, and I want to bring you home dead. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, so that would also make a person stay in the woods, hidden.
Right.
True.
We're not very inviting.
Do you think with all this, these podcasts and the social media, that we are becoming more aware, or more like aware of who we are spiritually?
I think everything that you said is plausible. I think more knowledge is absolutely, and I call it an informational highway when I pull stuff out spiritually. It's out there for all of us to grab. So yeah, I do think that there's benefits.
Helping us, or is it hindering at the same time because of the way negativity can spread through social media?
Now you're gonna get in. Remember I told you about some of those bad apples?
Mm-hmm.
So, and we talked about this last Sunday at the where pride or a person may talk about another person for whatever it may be, pair unity, or I know how to do it better than you, or
ego. Yeah.
that. Now you have that in the equation. So I believe that whatever's out there, all it takes is one person to be right. Does it freaking matter if it's all of them? It shouldn't. It shouldn't matter if all of them's got to be plausible. It just matters that one person is telling the truth. That means that it's plausible. Mm-hmm. Does it matter how many times that it's duplicated? There's always going to be somebody that wants to be a part of the hype. In my opinion, just being human, wanting to be a part of saying that they have to, or adding things that shouldn't be, like a medium at a paranormal investigation and telling people that things are going on. We talked about that, and it's not really happening. I don't know why a person would do that, but it makes them feel a part of. Yeah. So there's no way of us being able to take that whole chunk out and actually know if it's real or not. You just got to have faith, and there's so many unknown things that all of it, it's mind-boggling how much unknown that we have. But I believe, like your words, Thin Slice, it's building blocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, building blocks forever now, Ryan.
You will.
It's especially like when it comes to, like, especially with the paranormal, like when you were talking the other night, Rhonda, you saying when they would ask you, John would ask you what you have. If you don't have anything, you've got to be like, honest, I don't have anything right now. It's they've got to be able to trust your word.
Yep.
Because in this, with everything AI and all that stuff that we have going on,
yes,
it's so easy to fake things that, without your word, one time you extend the truth or whatever, and they find out about it, and that's it, because every other thing that comes on after that, they won't believe you, because there'll always be that doubt. And once that doubt's there, it doesn't go away.
That's correct. That's correct. And unfortunately, that's what we were saying about how YouTube and how some of these programs have been, rocketed or being very successful, because you're putting in entertainment and you're putting in, and we're so desensitized, just like you were saying, one thing's got to be better than the other and even our soaps. Ultra soap is better than regular soap. Have one. Why do you have to have one? Yeah. So I feel like it's the same way that it's in everything. So you got to be simple and a trust in, and all it takes is one person telling the truth, that there was a being, or that there was. I think that that's enough for a person as individuals to open up their box and look at the possibilities. I didn't say for you to believe and all go on home. So just open it up to the possibilities. You'll be surprised how some answers are going to come in that spin go right past you all along.
Just ask yourself, why not?
That's right.
Why not? Why can't it be this way? Why does it have to be this way? Why can't it be this way? And open yourself up to that possibility. Like, look, Kevin, I hear a background distorted voice. Somehow, I don't know. It wasn't me. I have no one here.
Right. Well, you know what? Now we can go back and listen and see if we hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you hadn't said it, we wouldn't know to go listen to it.
Exactly.
Exactly. Just like leave you guys with this, open yourself up to the possibility that there is something more out there, than what you've been told.
That's all that you need to do. Just because it's gonna come right in front of you. Those signs, those all of a sudden a flower in front of you, or a song comes on that just those are deliberate connection communications, and they're not accidental. They were planted perfectly right there for you to acknowledge and see it. And those are, I feel, are the gift of the unknown, the gift of opening your box. There's more out there than what we're visually seeing. And
that's the key, seeing. You've got to open your eyes. Look around. Don't look at your phone the whole time. Look around you and be aware, be present of where you are, and just enjoy life, because we're here for a short time, and we could be gone. Could be gone tomorrow. We don't know.
So true.
But you know what? I am super excited for this conversation, Katrina. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you.
We never know where these conversations are going to go.
I'm sorry. I'm just so weird, but
it's fine.
No, you're not.
It was a fun conversation. I like these.
It was a good conversation, and it had a good conversation going in the chat. We didn't get to read everybody's comments, but we were displaying them on the screen.
See, that's the best. You've got the great people that are already getting the juices flowing, and that creates energy, that creates awareness. I think that's all that the aliens thin slice. I think that's all that they want us to keep us on our toes, and to make us open it up and get outside the box.
Sharing ideas, getting the word out, is talking, getting the ball rolling, getting the energy going.
Yes,
it was awesome. Katrina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I'd love to have you back on the show. I'm sure we have more stuff we can get into. I want to get into how you got started and all that and everything. So
I'd love to have you
come back on. I was born. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Good night.
That's how it started.
Good night, everybody. It's been great.
Good night.
All right. Thank you, Katrina. We'll have you
Katrina.
back on soon. Bye. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, Katrina's a
fun show.
And she's so knowledgeable. Like, she really gives you pause to think some of the things that, her take on things and her perception on things. So I love listening to what she has to say about things.
I love our shooting the shit shows is basically what this was tonight. That was awesome. But it's even more awesome, or just as awesome.
What?
When we have Dana Marie Vollmer joining us, and she'll be back with us on the TikTok Thursday night. On the TikTok, you don't stop giving out free tarot card readings on the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show. Okay. On the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show TikTok page, Thursday night, 9:00, free tarot card reading for an hour. Only going for an hour. And so join us this Thursday night, 9:00. Thank you so much, everyone in chat.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yes, Michelle.
We're going to go listen to see what we hear happened before the show started, and what Mish and Kevin caught on to see if we can hear anything.
Yeah, that's for sure. See if we can go back, listen to what they heard. And next week, we've got Haunted Foodie coming on the show.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yes, and she is from. I think she's from Scotland. I don't know where she's from, but so I got to make sure that she's okay coming on. Yeah, exactly. I didn't realize she was from out of the country. So I heard her voice. I'm like,
in the morning for her. So.
She's probably not from around here. We'll listen to one of her videos. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe we should talk to her about that. Plus, I'll be at the beach for a spring break, so
lucky you.
We'll get it figured out. But guys, thank you so much. It might be cold, so it might not be lucky me, but it'll be nice to get away for a little bit. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight on the Freakin Awesome Paranormal Show. We'll be back here or on TikTok with Dana Marie Vollmer. Same freaking awesome time.
Same freaking awesome show.
See you later. Bye.
Bye, everyone.